Israel's latest diplomatic moves can be felt in the Horn of Africa. Last month, the Jewish state normalized relations with the United Arab Emirates. It was a deal driven by American mediation. Since then, the U.S. Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, has visited Sudan. The recently formed civilian government there was seeking to be removed from Washington's list of states sponsoring terrorism. Pompeo's direct flight from Tel Aviv to Khartoum was interpreted as a sign of American intentions. Analysts see a push for another Muslim country to recognize Israel.
One of the talking points he had was to try to get Sudan to soften or change its policy on Israel, because with a new government, and if the new government, which is civilian-led, is concerned about getting off the terrorist list, states that sponsor terrorism, well, I think we were leveraging on that to get Sudan to fall into line on Israel.
While Pompeo's trip didn't result in a change in the state-sponsored terror list or recognition of Israel, negotiations could still achieve those results. The Jewish state's relationships with others in the region are all unique. Israel has taken in tens of thousands of Ethiopian Jews, known as Beta Israel, in the last 4 decades. More than 140,000 ethnic Ethiopians live in Israel. Experts believe that Judaism came to Ethiopia 2 millennia ago. The current immigration minister, Penina Tamano-Shata, was born in Ethiopia. Despite being represented by a government minister, many in the community say they experience racism. Ethiopia established diplomatic relations with Israel in 1992. Eritrea established ties in 1993 after President Isaias Afwerki went to Israel for medical treatment. An embassy was established in Asmara in March of that year, despite Tel Aviv siding with Ethiopia in the civil war. Over 20,000 Eritreans reside in Israel. Djibouti, a member of the Arab League, does not recognize the Jewish state. A meeting in 1995 was meant to trigger liaison offices in both countries, but they never materialized. Somalia, also a member of the Arab League, shuns Israel. An official at the Foreign Ministry was fired last year after saying that recognizing Israel makes sense for the nation. Just before that, Somalia abstained during a UN vote condemning Israel's annexation of the Golan Heights. It was the first time an Arab League nation had passed on criticizing Israel in such a vote. For now, though, there appears to be no move for Mogadishu to establish ties with Israel. Analysts warn that such a move could drive support for the Al-Shabaab terror group. Many think that Al-Shabaab operations in both Somalia and Kenya are meant to punish the U.S. for its close relationship with Israel.
In the aftermath of the Lamu attack, again, I'll reiterate, there was the chatter, the terrorist chatter, that this was also part of this campaign to punish the United States for recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel.
Somaliland could be an odd mix of interests leading to diplomatic ties. The breakaway state has been trying unsuccessfully for 3 decades to gain recognition as a sovereign country. The UAE is a key supporter and now a friend of Israel. Certainly, mutual recognition would anger the Somalis, but it is the kind of strange marriage that diplomacy in the region just might bring together.